wrestled the gun from his grip, but he swiped it aside, shoved her backwards towards the lip of the precipice. Rose tried to duck past him, but his thick, slippery fingers clamped around her wrists, digging in hard. "You okay?" the doctor shouted. One of his opponents lay sprawled in the mud. "Never better," she gasped, squirming in the big man's grip. Then instead of struggling against her attacker, she plonked herself down on her bum, bent up her legs, shoved her feet against his oiled-up gut, and pushed with all her force. That broke his hold, and he fell backwards. "Leg it!" yelled the doctor, two of the overseers lying at his feet. "Back to the TARDIS!" But now, the one who'd whipped her was blocking Rose's way. He lunged for her, and she backed off. It would be okay. The doctor was racing towards them, and the ground started to crumble underfoot. Rose looked back wildly, and with a sick feeling found she'd reached the very edge of the precipice. She wavered on the brink, losing her balance. It was like everything was happening in slow motion. Then a bellow from the guard and the sharp crack of a whip cut through the moment. Her arm burned with a sudden, galvanizing pain. The doctor was holding the other end of the whip, his face frantic. Rose's fingers curled round rough leather as the lip of the ledge gave way beneath her, and she fell. The scream had barely built in her throat before she was pulled up short, dangling from the whipcord. She caught crazy, spiralling glimpses of sheer rock, green sky, of tiny figures on the giant stone anthill far below. "Hold on!" the doctor gasped, thrusting into view over the crumbling precipice. "You too," she told him, her feet flailing for purchase in the side of the mud cliff, trying to pull herself up the length of leather. Low gravity or not, she felt heavy as lead. She focused on the doctor's face. He was helping her. He was going to drag her to safety. Then one of the overseers loomed into view behind him, gun raised. "Look out!" Rose shouted. The doctor didn't turn, kept hauling her up, hands moving mechanically faster and faster. At last her elbows mushed into the soft mud at the precipice's edge, took her weight. His hand clutched her forearm, and he gave her an enormous grin. Then the contact was snatched away. The doctor was dragged to his feet by two of the overseers, and a gun was pressed to the back of his head. Rose was helpless as slab-like hands reached for hers, pulled her up, jammed gun barrels into her neck. "Get off me!" she struggled angrily. "If you just try talking instead of—" Rose broke off as, with a weird whirring of alien engines, two small vessels rose up over the edge of the rise. They were shaped a bit like helicopters, but in place of rotor blades, there blazed a vortex of blue light. One was landing close to the TARDIS. Rose thought fleetingly of the single straggly flower caught beneath it, its life and colour crushed into the earth. The other craft landed beside her, and the shadow it cast was black and cold. With a sick feeling, Rose found herself being frog-marched towards it. "Doctor!" she yelled. The gun jabbed in her throat as she stared back frantically over her shoulder. "Doctor!"